Welcome to the 2021-2022 Blue Lieutenant Governor Town Hall. My name is Moiz Nasir, and I'm currently serving as your 2020-2021 Blue Lieutenant Governor. Today, I'm joined with the candidates for next year, deVyver from the Rosie Schneider delegation and Simran Jain from the Springfield Township delegation. The rules for this town hall are as follows. We have a total of 5 questions to go through. Each candidate will have a minute to answer the question and may yield any and all time to the moderator, and a gavel tap will be given out at 10 seconds to indicate that the time is running out. And lastly, we will alternate the order from which the candidates answer questions. So with that being said, we will jump right into our first question, and it is pretty straightforward. Our first question is, what makes you the most qualified candidate for this position? David, we will start with you, and I will give you 1 minute here. Give me 1 second.
Yep.
All right, you may begin whenever you are ready.
deVyver Rosie. So, what makes me the most qualified candidate for the position comes in 2 forms. The first form being my experience. I have endless amounts of experience when it comes to the Senate by being both a party leader and the Gold Lieutenant Governor, but it also comes through my ideas. I have many ideas that can work to help improve the Senate. Whether it's a rotation system to remove bias, or it's mock model to practice, or even more ideas to help bring out the best in each and every delegate and improve debate. I have all of those which help make me the most qualified candidate for the position and the person that will make model the best next year. I yield the rest of my time to the chair.
All right, thank you. Simran, you will also have a minute now. You may begin whenever you're ready.
Simran Jain, Springfield Township delegation. Thank you, Mr. President. So I think that what really sets me apart is that I bring a new perspective to the Senate. I mean, I can't remember the last time that we had a lieutenant governor that had experience in all, the Penn, Duran, majority, and minority parties. And I also have an extra sense of relatability with senators because I've passed 2 of my own bills, both in the Senate, and I know that people are nervous when that time comes around. I also have just learned so much from this virtual setting, and that really shows in my ideas. I want to take advantage of virtual aspects and tools like Google Calendars and things like that so that we can make the Senate more organized. And another thing that I think really sets me apart is my activity. Throughout this entire campaign, I have been committed to putting all of my effort into it. I've put creative videos out, I've put parody videos out, and I'm just really excited to be able to work with others and make this campaign the best that it could possibly be.
All right, thank you, delegates. So we will go on to our second questions. And so as of right now, we don't really know what participation is going to look like in the Senate for next year. So the question is, what are your plans to create a balanced environment in the Senate chamber, considering there's a good chance for heavily staggered party sizes? Simran, we will begin with you. You will have 1 minute again, and you may begin whenever you're ready.
Absolutely. So I think that it all starts with party leadership training. And we really need to make sure that our party leaders are setting an example. And we know that they aren't there to push their own agendas, they're there to serve the group. And one of the things that I think is really important for a party leader to understand is that they should allow for people to speak outside of their party. I mean, that happens all the time in the real world. And so that's something that I want to see embraced in the Senate. And another thing is, I working this year with the gold and blue combined, I think that, obviously we're going to have some of the gold senators that would have been in the gold Senate this year move on to blue next year. So working with everybody all together, I think it's going to be a great experience for them to, understand how more experienced debate looks like. So essentially, that's my plan for keeping things mixed. Thank you, and I yield any time to the chair.
All right, thank you, David. You're up next. A minute on the clock. You may begin whenever you're ready.
All right, deVyver Rosie. So the most effective method to dealing with the disparity in party sizes is to simply create balance in the Senate. How do I do that? Well, I plan on creating balance in the Senate through my rotation system between bills. That will function as I will first start with a left-leaning bill, then a right-leaning bill, and then a centrist bill that doesn't really follow strong into another category. This can ensure that there is no way that there is any bias of any kind, as well as creating pure balance among the Senate. Both parties will have equal opportunity to state their cases and to give their bills, and there's not one side or the other having to fight off every bill or defend every bill, and everyone has a fair and equal representation when it comes to giving their speeches. Because I've noticed, at least on my end, that a lot of times one party is doing a lot of the fighting bills and the other party is doing a lot of pushing for them. And this system can remove that altogether. Thank you, and I yield the rest of my time to the chair.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. And with that, we'll move into our third question. So as you guys know, block voting is a fairly controversial concept in the Senate. So the question is, what are your plans for block voting as a whole? David, I believe you are going first this time, and you'll have a minute. You may begin whenever you're ready.
All right, deVyver Rosie. So block voting can be removed by being strict on it. I plan on being hard on my different party leaders in making sure that they don't block vote, whether it's literally going into their caucus sessions and telling them to give time to delegates that are trying to speak on the opposition. I plan on being as hard as possible to give each and every delegate a fair opportunity. I'll do that through addressing it just with them, addressing it with higher ups, doing anything I can to not hurt or ruin the Senate experience, as good debate is what the Senate is all about. Thank you, and I yield the rest of my time to the chair.
All right. Thank you. Simran, you have a minute. You may begin when ready.
Absolutely. So I think that the intent is in the right place with block voting and that we want to pass as much legislation as possible. But I think that the possibility of stunting a person speaking for future debates is far too major. So one of the things that I plan on doing is, specifically honing in on the training for party leaders and whips and also committee chairs, because all people of authority have the power to, influence people and whether or not they want to vote in a specific way or speak in a specific way. So that's definitely something that I want to hone in on. But also in general, I just know that people work really, really hard on their bills. And I think that within the Senate, the best thing that we could possibly do is work with them to make sure that they're getting the debate that they look forward to. Also, I think that I think that we need to be able to understand once again that leaders are not there to push their agendas. And ultimately, I don't think that block voting will be in place when or if I take office. Thank you, and I yield the time to my chair.
All right. Thank you, guys, once again. And with that, we'll move into our fourth question. So being a legislative presiding officer means you have to control the influx of bills between the Senate and the House. So how will you coordinate your bill calendar to accommodate for all bills, and what merits a higher bill placement on your calendar? Simran, I believe we're starting with you. You have a minute as always, and you may begin when ready.
Awesome. So basically, one of the things that I introduced last year, actually, when I was running for Gold Committee Chair, is a bill calendar rubric. And this year, as a Blue Senate Committee Chair, I've had the privilege to be able to see that in action. And basically, I lay out exactly what will be looked for. It's not just well-writtenness, and it's not just debatability. There are so many other things that I think should go into the consideration of a bill's placement. So that's something that I look to consider continue the use of next year. And I want to make sure that the committee chairs are able to formulate their calendars using them as well. So I also want to hear from the Speaker of the House and the committee chairs on the quality of debate on each bill so that I'm able to create the best environment with healthy flow of debate. Thank you, and I yield any remaining time to the chair.
All right. Thank you, David. You may begin when ready.
deVyver Rosie. So the point of YAG is to enjoy it. That's why we all do it. That's why we all love it. We all love YAG. So how do I plan on picking which bills are the best? I'm simply going to go to delegates and ask them which bills do they enjoy the most. When it comes to things like House bills coming to the Senate, I plan on actually going up to House members and asking them, which bills did you enjoy the most? Those bills are more often than not going to be the ones that will inspire the best debate in the Senate. The best debate in the House and the best debate in the Senate stem from similar places because of its well-writtenness or its debatability. For bills already in the Senate, my goal is to prioritize both debatability and effort equally, because people did put a lot of time into their bills. And when it comes to bills that actually passed, they're all going to be in similar levels of quality. But when it comes to bills in the Senate, it's super important because of it being my own chambers that I keep a good balance, and I plan on keeping that balance if I can. Thank you, and I give the rest of my time.
All right. Thank you, guys, once again. And we will now move into our fifth and final question. So next year will be an unprecedented time for the entire program. So what is your overall top priority or philosophy for the Senate as a whole to ensure the best experience for every delegate? David, are we starting with you? I believe
Yes.
so. All right. You have a minute. You may begin when ready.
deVyver Rosie. So my philosophy comes in two places: balance and fairness. And balance and fairness on one end and practice in the other. When it comes to practice, I plan on using stuff like mock model, which was a success today and will be a success next year. I also plan on using other methods so people are prepared to come to model. But my other philosophy to keep it interesting is, as stated before, is balance. Being balanced between political ideologies as well as between different delegations will ensure that debate is spiced up. If we have great debaters and we have great bills, then there's nothing but a fun experience for everyone, and it could be one of the best YAG years ever. Thank you, and I give the rest of my time to the chair.
All right, Simran, you can take us home. You have a minute. You may begin when ready.
Awesome. So essentially, I think that with these two past unprecedented years, even if we do end up in person next year, I don't think that model is going to be the same. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that I, for one, have learned so much from these technological tools that it would be a crime to not use them. So that's one of the things that I really want to push if I'm elected as Blue Lieutenant Governor. But another thing, I have three main pillar points for my platform, and those are advocacy, accessibility, and transparency. And I think that one of the things that I really want to push is advocacy. I know that there are some smaller delegations that maybe only have one senator and they don't really know what they're doing. So I want to reach out to every person individually, and that's something that I plan on doing with my early senator recognition idea, and make sure that they understand processes. Another thing that I want to do is create specific tools for party leaders and whips to use and access in case they're new to the position. And same with senators, that they understand all aspects of parliamentary procedure. So I'm really looking forward to this opportunity, and thank you so much. And I yield my time to the chair.
All right, awesome, guys. And that is a wrap on our LT Town Hall. Thank you, everyone who may be watching, and just enjoy model. I can't wait to see you guys there.